Hello and welcome to Mano Goes Racing, and today we are carrying on with our Project Cars 2 Prototype C US Championship, and we are off to Florida for a bit of sun, sea, sand and screaming engines at the Daytona, what's it actually called? Road course. I'll get it right eventually one day. Now we're going to go for the usual 30 minutes qualifying with no mucking about with the practice, and of course I haven't switched the machine on since the last time I played. I was going to do this over the weekend, but unfortunately, due to the fact that Microsoft, oh it's raining, Microsoft cocked up one of the last Office updates and managed to screw up, so if you were doing an SQL update on a table, it potentially came up with some weird error and caused all sorts of grief. And unfortunately, one of the things I do for a living is support several access databases, and of course they had said they were hoping to get out a fix by the 22nd, so I went, can I leave it, can I leave it? And then they changed it to be the 29th, and I went, I can't leave it. So I had to go in and update all my databases to work with the workaround they gave out, which is a pain in the bum, but these things happen. I wouldn't mind, but they must have put a fix out for the very latest version within about a day. And in the older version they went, yep, 22nd, and then it suddenly went up to the 29th, and that was a little bit bit of a barge there from the AI, but interesting to see. Whoops, I just click those cones for some reason. Interesting to see how far out we are on top speed on this banking. Where am I going to brake? Whoops. Wrong gear. Did that damage the engine? Surprisingly, no. I might have to move my seating position down so I can actually see where the hell I'm going when I'm on the bank there. And of course we have wound up the aero a bit on this, so might be a little bit slow. Turning was a bit premature. The thing I missed most from not practicing is actually being able to change gear or the bloody gear lever on this side. Right, let's try fourth this time instead of second. You can actually, I don't know where you're going. And actually carry four through there quite easily, so at least for one flying lap. Whether or not we can do it for more than one, I don't know. too wide, that's not going to count. Or is it? Well, it's letting me get away with it. I am surprised at that. Oh, what a surprise, one of them little Nissans. Go on, 3 seconds faster? Really? I didn't quite get that right. I was just so amazed by that lap time. It's like, where the hell did that come from? The first few times I tried this circuit, I really didn't like it. It's one of those, in the right car, it's actually quite enjoyable. It's one of those, it's different enough that it's not the same as anything else really, but it seems to have almost a sort of some familiarity to it. It's not too this, it's not too that, and it's like, try further through it, see if it makes any difference. Whoops, don't do that. Bit overly quick on the pressing the throttle back down there. Can we get a toe? Can we get a toe? Are we getting a toe? We might already be getting a toe. Stay a little bit higher and we should get. I was going to try and go around the outside of it and cock it up completely. So. Going to have to, everybody else went a bit fast as well, so it's a case of, do we wait to see if it's going to dry out, do we go, oh it's going to stay wet but nobody's going to go a lot faster. Whoops, that was a stupid thing to do. We'll return to the pits, and forecast is still light rain, so do I get brave? Do I stick with it? Do I take a bit of aero off? Do I sit here and do I fast forward the video so you don't have to put up with me sitting here for 20 minutes? It's all options. Also, I'd like to know if it's going to be wet or dry for the actual race, because what I could do is see if it's just going to tell me what sort of mileage I'm going to get. 16 laps. I don't know how many laps we're actually meant to be doing, so I forgot to check. This should be fairly heavy on the fuel, for the obvious reason that you've got your foot planted down quite hard for quite a lot of the back straight and the front straight. So, but as I was saying, I when I first started, first time I came across Daytona, I sort of went, ugh. But it's one of those circuits that's grown on me. I don't know why. It just, in a nice car, it's a nice circuit. In a bad car, it's a horrible circuit. But then you could probably say that at quite a few places. But I'm sure this rain's getting heavier. Do I sit here like a muppet for 20 minutes? Or do I be brave and hit the let's skip to the end? I'm going to be brave. If I end up in last, it'll be your fault, not mine.
Great job. That's P2, just a few tenths off pole. We're starting on the front row in the race. Lovely.
I thought it was going to say in the rain. Right, continue to the race. Right, firstly, how many laps is it? 20. So we better check to see that it's given us enough bloody fuel. It says 16 laps. I'm going to say, sod that then. We're going to go up to 90 litres. Done. Save. And of course it's dry, so, and it's 140 Fahrenheit. Ugh. That could prove very interesting. Hmm. 140 Fahrenheit, what's that in real money? Chuffy not. No, we'll stick with whatever we got on. Right, due to a slight cock-up on my part, I managed somehow to completely screw up the record. I paused it for a second to do something, and then was going to come back, and then somehow I managed to go from paused to off, and then forgot to restart it for the race itself. So this is going to be played via a replay. I'll switch between the onboard and trackside a few times, but I'll stay with the trackside onboard to start with, and I will leave the playback controls on and the lap stuff so you can actually see where we are, because you won't be getting anything else to see, as interesting as that is, obviously. So here we go from the start. 30 minutes ish of me going round and round and round, round and round, 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 round. And off we go. Right. Of course, nothing to say go, go, go. But I had to stay a bit wide here because I had two cars creeping up the inside, then this third Jaguar had a go, and luckily backed out a bit, but again, another car creeping up the inside there, so you just swap the track side. You can see him coming up the inside there, and I gave him plenty of room because right at the start, not worth being too brave. I'll switch back to there because you can't actually see that properly. Now at this point I thought, great, we can catch on the banking, but it just wasn't working. So I'll flick that off for a minute so you can see. At this point I was a bit unsighted and ended up completely cocking it up and nearly missing it completely, so a little bit close for comfort there. Yeah, I'm absolutely convinced there was a set of keys for changing the camera. You see these two having a bit of a tag match there. I was utterly convinced there was a way of changing the cameras on the fly in the replay, and he was so early on the brakes there I almost ran. We do actually have a car rather close behind us. Unfortunately you can't really see the mirrors. It's a bit of a pain. Despite holding the controller in my hand, I can't adjust where I'm looking. Very much a case of struggling to get out of that corner. I think the tyres were, although the soft tyres last really well, even in, it was 140 odd degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is in real money, I will have to look it up. It's surprising how well they last, and they're actually quite difficult to overheat. So I did wonder whether to put the hards on to try and get something a bit more intense. I forgot to actually check what sort of range they were running in, but they seemed pretty good, which surprised me. So we'll just sit back and enjoy for a minute. And as I got, again, you're looking at it going, oh my god, are they going to have an accident? And they sort of managed to avoid each other. And you're thinking, right, I'll just follow them again. Those V12s in our screen. Just be nice if I could just see the mirror so I could tell what was behind us, but there's nothing too close. Back in, getting a little squirrely there. Again, struggling to get out on the power. Now there's a chain of thought when you're going around the oval. You want to be further out, so you're going around this way, you want to be round here, and the further back you are, slightly more up, because the sort of washout from what's coming off the car is going up the banking. I don't know if that's true or not. And if you're close enough, it shouldn't make a lot of difference, but it's almost like you want to be more up here to get the draft from further back. Don't know. Might be bollocks. But at the end of the day, if you're close enough, it shouldn't make a lot of difference. And that was, how the hell did they get away with that? At this point, I thought the car ahead had actually got a puncture, because if you notice, it's on the, as we say in East Anglia and round in Suffolk, on the hood, and the back end's like this now, so again, me struggling a little bit to get the power down coming out of there. The only trouble with this car, the complete lack of visibility in just a fairly large area here, because you've got like the cockpit itself and then this bloody great lump of anti-roll bar, I assume it is. Does actually mean you've got quite a large section of your vision is blocked out, and it tends to be, especially on tight corners, that's where you're looking for an apex. So it actually makes it quite difficult to actually hit the apex at times, but let's see what the timings are like. Right, lap 4. Go for a few trackside shots. Oh, and I missed it. There was a humongous, I forgot it was that lap. I think that's actually worth a rewind, that. And we'll go to the onboard view. Pause. Cockpit, and I don't know what they were doing. It's sort of like he cruised up behind, flicked to the inside, flicked to the outside, just caught the back end. I panicked, as you do when you see two cars go, where's it going? And so much smoke I couldn't actually see where one of the cars was. So That's suddenly me in fourth with quite a big gap behind me. You can hear me hunting for throttle there. I'm sort of on and off throttle. It's almost like the car wants to sort of goes into the corner, doesn't want to go in, goes into the corner, doesn't want to go into the corner. As you hunt on the throttle, it's on and off, and you eventually get to the point of going, yeah, it's going to get around the corner. Dodgy gear change. And another one. Now at this point I thought, could I catch the car ahead? And frankly, I got too much aero on the car, and I think with a bit of practice, I think there might have been a cut there. Yeah, I'm off the throttle, yeah. I did actually cut and get a warning at that point, so of course you can't see it on the screen now, but yeah, I probably with a bit of practice I'd have taken some air off the car, because you do spend an inordinate amount of time on the throttle, and these should do 200 miles an hour without any problem at all, and we're only hitting 190-ish. And I think the default aero allows it to go over 200. So we've definitely dropped quite a lot on the straight line speed, but you do gain through the infield section quite a bit, so it swings and roundabouts. You gain on some, you lose on others, and for some reason I don't know why I don't hunt as much on the throttle through that one as I do through the previous one. Whether it's all in me head, I think. Trying a slightly wider line here, but again I'm just diving down a bit too early to get down on the, probably sit higher up. You could spend hours going round and round and round and round looking for what's the best line around the actual oval section itself. And I think I do actually think a lot of people underrate how much skill is involved in oval racing in its various forms. Not just in being able to race in very close proximity to a load of other cars. It's almost the chess-like approach you have to take of, do I follow this car, do I follow that one, is he going to make a break, is he going to stay with us? And it does help if you've got proper bump drafting, which Project Cars 2 has, which we did some quite extensive testing on, funnily around Daytona in GT3 Bentleys. And what you do is two people will go around and a third person will be there, and the solo car will be 10-15 mile an hour slower in a straight line, and then the idea was to try and get it so that you got ahead and got the other cars to catch up, and hope that you were actually pushed without physically being pushed, but just the air ahead of the cars as they come up behind was enough to give you an acceleration, so you ended up in a train of three. And that worked remarkably well actually, and it was amazing to be in the car and suddenly go, blimey, where's all this extra speed coming from? And suddenly went from sort of 175 up to 190 plus in a GT3 Bentley. In fact, we actually ended up, we had to keep upping the gearing on the darn things. We just kept running out of gearing. I'm just trying to remember if we did actually hit 200 miles an hour or not. I might have an unlisted video of that. I'll have to go and have a look. But as you can see, we'll just pull up the timings here. I am losing time to the car ahead, despite the fact he's running in fresh air and so am I. He's put in a lap time that's 1.2 seconds quicker than me. Bit less throttle hunting there. But I'm trying to think which lap did I make a complete and had to cock up with a couple of corners and lose some time, but we'll get there in a minute. That'll probably be the time I flick to a different camera view and then go, oh bugger. Again, coming out onto the back straight and diving straight for the bottom is not necessarily the best thing to do. I actually ended up going, I'll take the wider line and try and carry the speed up. There's always this sort of psychology of I'm going uphill, therefore gravity slowing me down. Should I just and stay down, or should I try and go up the hill? Which, if you ever tried going up a hill on a bicycle or even worse, a pair of roller skates, you'll know it's bloody hard work compared with going on the flat or even going downhill. So just trying to remember if that's fastest lap or last lap that shows. I think that's just last lap, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So I might have been talking bollocks a little while ago when I said that he was 1 point whatever it was. He's obviously 1.2 seconds quicker on that lap alone, the third place car, compared with me. But let's have a few track sides here. I do have to say, I really like the sound of this car. See, I was taking a much wider line that time, trying, I think it might have been in third, decided to go a little bit higher up and try and hold a bit more up the bank in to see if it would give me a bit more speed. Didn't seem like a lot of difference really, but at the end of the day you can spend hours and hours going, should I go up, should I go down, should I do this, should I do that, and then you get in a race, having spent hours practicing what's my perfect line, and find out that everybody else buggers your line up. So unless you happen to be running in a nice piece of open air by yourself, as I am at the moment, experimenting a lot with lines is the sort of thing you need to do in practice, but you end up in a race, you just, especially if it's a nice tight race with lots of people around, you're so compromised on line a lot of the time that you end up just doing whatever feels right, which comes down to basically experience. So the only way to gain experience on close racing is to do some close racing. Obviously this is not close racing. At this point I'm just trying to be consistent, because good old Benny boys occasionally telling me, oh, you're a bit inconsistent here or whatever. Well, what the last lap time was, 35-ish. So I'm trying to be not necessarily the fastest, just that did sound like another cocked up gear change. Not necessarily fastest, just try and be consistent. For some reason, I don't know why, I was just finding this chicane a lot less of a pain than I had in the past. Although, for some reason I kept doing this weird little lift in the middle as the go round the right-handed part. So it's like one big sweep. So, whether it's just the car, whether it's I'm just getting better, not likely, or whether it's just the way this particular car just likes to go around there, I don't know, but I do like this car, I have to say. It is one of those cars that it's really nice to drive. Until you do that, of course, that was a bit late on the brakes. He's lost about a second and a half there, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a second and a half he lost to somebody behind you, which is never good. And of course, whenever you lose time, there's always this, oh, I've lost time, should I try and make it up, should I try and that's where you go make a load more cock-ups, because obviously you made a cock-up and you're trying to make up time to get back to where you were, and it don't always work. Right, let's go back to the cockpit. See 35.7 on the last lap. We'll have a look at the end of this lap and see what sort of time we did. I think it was about 36.5ish or something like that. Bit of a lock up there. Look at the time after we cross the line, which is there. Yeah, 37.5, not 36.5. It was worse than I thought. See that? Even the approach to the very first, and I nearly cocked up a second lap in a row, which is really embarrassing. The approach to the first corner, it's quite interesting. It's in lower downforce cars, there's always a temptation to try and carry the speed in as you're braking, and we did a multiplayer test, was it, round here? I seem to recall. And the amount of people who just left it way too late to brake in the first corner, and people getting skittled and everything. That's probably one of the reasons why Daytona doesn't get used a lot in multiplayer sort of races. It's far too easy to play skittles in that first bend. As you can tell, even the AI occasionally get that completely wrong and skittle each other. But again, that little lift, like, get off, stop doing it. Again, it's whether it's just one of those little habits where you're just trying to get the car just to get a bit more of a set by just a little lift on the throttle, who knows? Another very little lock up there. I'm trying to tell if the car that's immediately behind us actually got overtaken by the one behind it. So Sim and Ash, because if you notice, Ash is quicker than Sim. So I'm just wondering if he caught him and overtook him or not. So we'll see. And we're 23 seconds behind. So the last car must have already been lapped, and the one in 15th must be pretty close to being lapped, if not already being lapped. That is one thing I don't like about this circuit, is trying to work out where the hell the pit entrance is. It's especially bad in one of these cars because of the really terrible visibility. But I don't think I've ever been in a race where I've needed the pit here and actually got it right. Every time. No, missed it. Or came in too fast, left it too late to hit the brakes, and ended up with speeding. A little bit late on the brakes there. Again, trying, knowing you're cocked up, trying not to be silly and try and make it all up in one little go. because the temptation again, you come out of that corner and you know you've cocked up, you know you've lost tenths, and you try to get on the power a bit earlier, and all you do is you end up sideways coming out of the corner and losing even more. So it's a bit like in a war. It's not about winning all the battles, it's just about winning the war. So you lose the odd little battle here and there, but you hope to still win the war. Strange analogy probably, but that's the way it goes. Let's have a look how they're getting on behind us. Oh, that's getting tight. In fact, according to that, Ash is ahead of Sim. Is he? He's got a lower time, but he's still behind according to that. And he's on a 34 flat now. Oh, there he goes. So, yep. A little bit low on the brakes. And again, try not to be too aggressive on the throttle. So, yeah, I hadn't actually realised whilst I was racing that the two behind us actually swapped places. I'm just trying to remember if he's one of the ones who've had it coming together at the start. Is he one of the first? Because I think they may have pitted, but unfortunately it doesn't show how many pit stops he runs out here. So let's go and have a look at some trackside again. Oh, we'll put it on all and we'll just let it rotate a bit. So that's an interesting camera, and means I can't see either mirror at all now. So there's one thing about this particular camera, it does give a really good sensation of speed. Oh, did it again. Yep, left it too late. And again, try not to get on the throttle too hard. Again, lost 1.5 seconds there, and I think by the end of this lap I lost about 2 seconds on this lap, so instead of being about a 35-ish, I was about a 37-ish again, or 37.5-ish again. Of course, when you're running in the racing, whoop, that looked a bit sideways. When you're running the race, of course, you've got the relative time to your fastest lap all the time. And unless you can remember what your fastest lap was, it's saying -2 seconds, doesn't actually tell you anything. So I think it was about 37 something this particular lap, because it's 2 seconds off at this point. Of course, what I won't do for this one is I won't put the replay in the corner, because this is the replay, so ho ho. What was that? 37.3, and in behind it a 34.1, so he's now 4-ish seconds behind, so we'll just go back to the cockpit cam, and it's a real shame you can't see the mirror. What lap were we on? I've forgotten. Again, turned in too early there. So this is lap 17 for the leader, so I still got to try and hold him off for 3-ish laps, which it was about 1.5 seconds faster per lap, so I had to pull my finger out a bit as they say. And at this point, my finger was well and truly extracted, but I wasn't necessarily going any faster due to the fact I didn't seem to be gaining anything on the straights. So, was this the quick est lap or not? I'm just trying to remember. It was so long ago. No, that wasn't a quick lap. So what did he do behind me? He did a, well, I did a 34.2, he did a 30, sorry, I did a 35.2, he did a 34.1, so at this point, I'm going, I've got to stick my boat down a bit. We're on lap 18, so I think this was where I managed to extract the digit a bit. I got the distinct impression he was definitely faster on the straight bits than I was, but I was possibly a little bit quicker through the twisties, so could I equalise my lap time with his was the question. Let's have a look. Right, he should have let, so I did indeed stick your name much better like that time, 34.5, give or take a few milliseconds, and he was only just quicker, so it was a case of, that'll do, just try and repeat. Again, trying for that wider line, see if I could carry a bit more speed onto the back here. As much as anything, I was about trying to make a hairpin exit, or the left-hander exit, bigger, so I could get the power down harder without losing the back end. So opening out that bend a bit more helped. Yeah, what was it, 34.499 last time, so let's see what we've done this time. So it's over the line, and he should be over the line as well. Not quite as quick for him, but me quicker, so that was my best lap, 34.2, and he was actually slower that time, so I managed to eke out 44 hundredths, yeah, 44 hundredths, so shall we see if I can remember the right combination of things yet. We'll have a look, see what he can see. I'm temptingly just ahead up there, look. We are on our last lap, so as you can see, lap 21, which means we're on the last lap. Slight lack of concentration there on my part. I actually tapped the wall coming out of the chicane, which is a little bit silly. I think Ben had just told me that was a really great section, and I was just so stunned by it that I didn't quite get it right coming out of there. So there we have it. The race El Finito, and I was fourth, and up ahead was the two Nissans, not in the order they qualified in, they were in the opposite order, so unfortunately, like I said, I cocked up and pressed the wrong button somewhere down the line and managed not to record the race or my spiel afterwards, so you didn't get me going, oh look, I was fourth and he was... basically, yes, I ended up fourth, ended up third in the championship. Me and my teammate ended up second in the teams, although he was quite well down in the individual championship. And the two Nissans between them had 4 wins, 8 podiums. So in the teams championship they had something like 178 points to mine and my teammates 80 something, I think it was. So all in all, absolute slaughter, because those Nissans do seem to be ridiculously quick compared with everything else, but whatever. At the end of the day, we got there. We managed to get in the top 3 in the championship, and we have now progressed onto the Transcontinental, is it? Championship? I'll have a look in a minute. This is a point where I'm going, where is the bloody entrance to this? Oh. Looking to try and find the pit entrance, which is actually sort of here-ish somewhere. So I was probably off the track there effectively, but and then stunned to find my pit box was actually right here. So oh, right, can I press the right combination of buttons to get us out of here? Yes. So that was the race. Like I said, a bit of a cock up on my part to press the wrong button, and ended up having no recording of the actual race whilst we were racing, which was a bit of a pain. And why is my screen black? Okay, that's interesting. Why is it doing that? Oops. Something's gone wrong. Well, anyway, black screen, whatever. Go on, let me in. Well, I'll fix this, and I'll be back sometime soon. So, for this week, that was me coming fourth and ended up third in the championship. And next time out, we'll be doing the Transcontinental Prototype C Championship, I think it is. And that first race is from, where the hell was it? Ho-hum. Oh yeah, Texas. Boom, boom, boom. The big one, Texas Motor Speedway, which is, again, it's an oval, but it's such a different feeling to the track compared with Daytona. It's so much tighter feeling, especially the approach to the first effectively hairpin to get into the infield. Horrible little corner, so that could prove interesting. I can't remember the last time I actually went around it, so I might actually have to do some practice. Stunned, I know, but for now, from the black screen of death, or whatever's going on here, that's it for this week, or for this episode, and we'll catch you soon. Enjoy racing. See you soon.